Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're getting into something pretty interesting. Iran's Counter-Espionage Agency, Oghab 2. That's Eagle 2.
Right. And our mission here is really to understand, why it was set up, how it functions, and the challenges it's facing.
Especially in protecting Iran's nuclear sites.
Exactly. The sources we looked at point mostly to, well, sabotage and cyber warfare as the main threats.
Yeah, and it's not just speculation. The New York Times reported that Iran itself acknowledged this fight. They apparently stopped some recruitment attempts.
Which is quite something for them to admit publicly.
It is, and this is all happening with these background rumors, right? About U.S. efforts maybe starting under Bush, then ramping up under Obama.
To sabotage parts being imported into Iran, kind of disrupting the supply chain.
Precisely. Which could explain some of the difficulties Iran's reportedly had.
So Oghab 2 itself, it wasn't just created out of the blue. It dates back to December 2005.
Okay. Any specific trigger?
Yes, apparently the arrest of 2 foreign agents. This happened at Parchin and Lavizan, which were secret sites back then.
Ah, so a direct response to a breach.
Seems like it. And the fact that its current leader, Ahmad Vahidi, is from the Revolutionary Guard, well, that tells you how seriously they take this.
Definitely signals high priority. Okay, let's talk about a major example of these threats, Stuxnet. That really made headlines.
Oh, absolutely. The New York Times piece we saw suggested it wiped out maybe a fifth of Iran's nuclear centrifuges.
A fifth. That's substantial. Hillary Clinton was quoted saying it might have pushed their program back years.
Yeah, possibly delaying things until around 2015 was the estimate mentioned.
And the way it worked was pretty sophisticated, wasn't it?
Extremely. It basically made the centrifuges spin too fast, out of control, but tricked the operators. It fed them false data, made it look like everything was running normally on their displays while the machines were actually destroying themselves.
Wow. And how did it even get in there? Aren't these places usually air-gapped, not connected to the internet?
They are, generally. Which points to the most likely infection method. An insider. Someone recruited, probably using a simple USB drive.
A classic espionage tactic, sneaking something physical past the air gap.
Exactly. It highlights that vulnerability. And of course, the U.S. policy on this stuff is always neither confirm nor deny.
Right, standard practice, which keeps everyone guessing.
And makes the job for agencies like Oghab 2 that much harder. You don't always know who or what you're fighting.
This specific worm, Stuxnet, it targeted Siemens systems, right? Industrial controls.
That's right. Widely used systems, not just in Iran.
Which brings us to a broader point. The Bulletin of the Atomic Scientist noted how effective this kind of industrial espionage or sabotage can be.
And how vulnerable many industrialized countries are, not just Iran. It's a global issue.
We saw those article titles too. Iran fights malware attacking computers in the Times, and one in the Figaro, how the United States spies on Iran.
Yeah. Comment les États-Unis espionnent l'Iran. It just shows this ongoing cyber and intelligence conflict.
So Oghab 2 is really on the front lines of defending against these, well, very modern threats, both internal infiltration and external cyber attacks.
Absolutely. And when you look at the bigger picture, Oghab 2's existence, the Stuxnet incident, it just paints a picture of this constant high-stakes battle to protect critical infrastructure.
That reliance on potential insider threats like the Stuxnet must be a huge headache for them.
Oh, definitely. It's one of the hardest things for any counter-espionage agency to defend against reliably. Securing supply chains, vetting personnel, constantly adapting. It's a massive undertaking.
Okay, so wrapping this up, Oghab 2 emerges from a clear need to counter very real threats. Espionage, sabotage, cyber attacks aimed squarely at Iran's nuclear ambitions.
Right, and Stuxnet serves as this stark example of just how potent these methods can be in today's world.
It really underscores the complex landscape of international espionage.
And it leaves us with a thought for you, the listener. Given how effective we've seen industrial sabotage and cyber warfare can be, what does that really mean for the security of critical infrastructure? Power grids, water supplies, financial systems in other nations, especially as everything gets more and more connected.
Something to think about. That's all for this deep dive.